Welcome to the lovely city of Krakow in southern Poland. Now, this is one of the most beautiful medieval cities in all of Europe and one of the most popular places to visit in Poland. So let's go have a look around and see what Krakow has got to offer. It is now 10 a.m. Friday morning and we are on the edge of the old town here, and I just had breakfast at the Hotel Francuski, the French hotel. I am not staying there. I will show you my accommodation later, but yeah, I went to this hotel for breakfast because it was recommended to me, and yeah, the breakfast was very delicious and cost 60 zloty. Right, we are now entering the old town of Krakow here. This is St. Florian's Gate, built in the 14th century and part of the old fortified city walls of Krakow. So the history of Krakow is very long and eventful, and I won't have time to go too much into detail, but just know that in the Middle Ages this was one of the most important cities in Central Europe, and it was also the capital of Poland during the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And then it was also a member of the Hanseatic League, which was a trade federation between various cities in Northern and Central Europe. And then another thing to know about Krakow is that it did not suffer as much destruction during World War II as Warsaw, for example. Now, one of the reasons I came here in early December is because I want to see the Polish Christmas market here, which is right over there. And here we have a horse carriage. Now I'm gonna talk more about this square here because it is a very special square. But first I want to go check out the Christmas market over there. I've been to Poland 3 times in the past, but I never came around the Christmas period. And I have heard that the Polish Christmas markets are amazing. So let's go have a look. The weather is obviously not great. There really isn't much light and it is very cold, -3. But look at this. Polish specialties, sausages and so on. Wow, this is a lovely Christmas market. Here we have pierogi, the Polish dumplings, hot wine, I guess. And here's some more meat. This is what I call a Christmas market. Here we have crepes and churros. That is not very Polish though. Some more sausages. Let's walk over here. Here we have burgers. There seems to be a bit of a modern touch here. Churros, or what is this? Waffles. So I guess they are adding some international touches to this Christmas market here. Some snacks. I mean, look at it. This market goes on for quite a while. But yeah, you can find all the traditional Polish dishes here. Polish soup. So this building here is actually very famous because it is sort of the market building on the main square here. Let's check out the inside as well. A lot of clothes and souvenirs and some jewelry as well. And here's some chessboards. As we are walking on the massive main square here, let me tell you something about it. With a size of over 9 acres, this is the largest medieval town square in Europe. And on this square here we have St. Mary's Basilica. It was first built in the 13th century but then it was destroyed during the Mongol invasion, and then it was rebuilt in the 14th century by King Casimir the Great, who is a very important figure in this region. And just like many medieval churches, a lot was added throughout the centuries. So the interior is actually not from the 14th century, it was modified in the 18th century. And then another special thing about this church is that every single hour, 365 days a year, they have a trumpet signal. So yeah, the Catholic religion still plays a major role in Polish society, much more than in other European countries. And of course the Polish Pope, John Paul II, had his part to play when it comes to the fall of communism in the 1990s. He actually supported the pro-democracy movement Solidarność. Alright, now we are walking through this beautiful park here and heading toward Wawel Castle. And I assume that it is gonna be very crowded, because obviously Krakow is very popular among pretty much every type of traveler, from older Europeans wanting to see the beautiful historic sites, and then just city trippers, but also Americans, Asian tourists, and a lot of young people who want to experience the nightlife. And then of course you have a lot of day trip options, including Auschwitz, the worst concentration camp of Nazi Germany. But then you also have the mountains south of here, where you can go skiing and hiking and many other things. So yeah, Krakow and the region is a very versatile destination. My word, look at the crowds ascending and leaving Wawel Castle over there. I think that there's actually more people leaving right now because it is lunchtime. So it might be a good moment to head up there now. Alright, let's head up to the castle with all the crowds here and see what the queuing situation is like. I visited this castle 10 years ago and I remember it being crowded, but not like this. Alright, we are now in the main courtyard of Wawel Castle. I mean, look at it. This is magnificent. And there are 7 different tickets that you can buy, so you can visit 7 different places, which seems a bit excessive, to be honest. So I'm not sure which one I am gonna go for, because I don't have that much time, but yeah, we'll find out. Alright, so I got myself a ticket here. There are actually 8 different tickets if you count the special event over there, and the tickets are timed. So you get a time slot and then you can enter, and I am not sure how long I can stay. And I bought a ticket for the staterooms, which are over there in the castle. And to be honest, I just did some very quick research here, and the staterooms looked like the most impressive part of the castle, but that might not be the case. So yeah, a top tip here: if you are coming to Wawel Castle in Krakow, do some research beforehand to find out what you actually want to visit, because there are so many different places and each one requires a different ticket. So this castle was built in the 13th and 14th centuries under King Casimir the Great, the same king who rebuilt the St. Mary's Basilica that we saw before. But like many European castles, it was not built in one single stretch. It was rebuilt, expanded and modified many times throughout the centuries, and they actually took inspiration from a lot of Italian architectural elements. Heading up to these staterooms now, let's see what they're like. So these staterooms here is where all the official ceremonies were held. So when the king would have royal guests or even parliamentary sessions were held here. Just visited the staterooms, they are super impressive. And my ticket also included the exhibition of the Turkish tents. Yes, tents, you heard correctly. That is the most random thing to display in a Polish castle. Tents from the Ottoman Empire. But there is obviously a good reason behind those tents. They were actually captured, so the armies of the Ottoman Empire tried to conquer Vienna, but they never managed to do so. They beleaguered the city for quite a while in the 17th century, but they were defeated by a Polish king, John Sobieski. And that is why the captured Turkish tents are displayed in this museum here. Alright, back down now. This is the castle that I just visited, and I found this really cool sign here where you have all the partner cities of Krakow. And I always find this very interesting because sometimes the partner cities are just the most random places you could imagine. So here we have Lviv in Ukraine. That makes sense. Leipzig in Germany. But then we have La Serena in Chile and Curitiba in Brazil. I've actually been to both. Two cities in South America that are for some reason partnered with Krakow here. Anyways, we have seen quite a few historic places here in Krakow today, so now I'm gonna show you something completely different. Let's go play some pinball at the Pinball Museum here. This is Metal Slug, the best game ever. I always played this as a kid. Now I'm dead. This guy is giving me some weapons. Oh, now, oh shit. Alright guys, that was the Pinball Museum. Really cool place, especially if you grew up in the late 90s or early 2000s like myself. This is pure nostalgia. So yeah, now I'm gonna show you my accommodation. Alright guys, back at my room now. Let me give you a quick tour. This place is called Dizzy Daisy and it is sort of a hostel slash guest house. But I got this twin room here for 37 euros a night, which is a really good deal. And yeah, it has got 2 beds and then a shared bathroom. And that is it from Krakow, Poland here. This is a really nice place to visit, even though it is very crowded. And I've been here before. This was actually my 3rd time. I decided to only spend 1 day here, but you could easily spend 3 or 4 or 5 days here and then do some day trips. And yeah, I am moving on tomorrow morning, so the adventures in Poland will continue. And as always, thanks very much for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye.